peeps? What's up? Welcome to Always Open. I'm your host, Barbara Dunkelman, and I got some friends who you may or may not know, but you should know, and you'll definitely know by the end of this episode, starting with this guy.
Tyler Kell.
Jessica Vasami.
What's up? It's me. I got so much fucking lipstick on. Texas.
What? No, you don't.
No, I don't, but I feel like I do. Anyway, it's me. It's your girl. It's your boy. It's 2018.
Okay. It's like, do you have something to tell us? Because I'd be supportive and happy for
I
you.
know you would. I know you would.
Yeah.
We were
I know
waiting.
he wouldn't.
Tyler would be supportive of anybody's choices for
I
anything.
would be very supportive.
Dude, your eyes
back.
look extra
Thank you.
green.
Thank you.
They look, oh, wow.
I feel so rejuvenated. I don't know, like a weight is off my shoulders.
Oh.
I feel light as a feather.
Do you?
It's a boy.
Yes,
Ew.
maybe not
Should we
stiff.
try and
Not as stiff as
Lifting?
I used to be in my younger days. Not quite as stiff.
That whole like light as a feather, stiff as a board thing, never did that once as a kid.
neither did I.
I did it only in my later years.
Yeah,
How
me
late?
too.
Maybe about 3 years ago. I was like, let's give this a try.
Did it work?
I don't really know.
I feel like we get like too heavy to
I'm,
do that.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
Light
Over
as a
my
feather,
head.
stiff as a board, light
Every,
as
Witchcraft.
It's like
Witchcraft.
something people would do at sleepover
You
parties,
put out your-
right? Like
You're
there'd be,
supposed to
these
put
are
like
your
a
fun
human on the
fingers.
ground.
there'd be
put
one
them in.
finger, not one finger, one person lying down on the ground,
one person
yes,
down, you
okay.
put all your fingers in them.
and then you'd put your fingers under them, and then like everybody at the same time would lift them while
says-
chanting that.
Yeah, light as a feather, stiff as a boy.
Which I've never.
We just grew up in a different time, did different things in my sleepovers.
Same age.
Fingers and people were still like part of the game. Like it wasn't boards and feathers. I wouldn't say it was that.
So no one got tarred and feathered.
No tarring and feathering at boys' sleepovers, but yeah.
Tyler, great to have you back.
Oh,
on the
thanks,
show. Jessica,
Barbara.
always wonderful to have you back.
Fantastic.
Welcome, welcome. It's our Thanksgiving special episode. Technically, this comes out a couple days before Thanksgiving,
Yes.
but we're still celebrating early.
We are.
We got our set decorated. We got
Look at that.
some nightmare toys.
What are we naming our nightmare baby behind
Where is it?
Jessica?
It's behind Jessica's head. There
Right
she
there.
is.
What are we naming her?
Head mistress.
But she needs a name. She's a head mistress,
it.
but she needs an official name.
Her name is Bernice.
That's Bernice. She had an accident. She is now only head and feet, and that's okay.
I think I'd
still
be
love
okay
her.
with that if I lost my entire body.
Because you can
You're
still
just-
walk. You can still walk around
and
and you can
eat.
still look at things.
Could you though? Like, where's it going? Going to your feet. It's
It goes
going
right-
straight to your
I have
feet.
Fat feet.
You're gonna have fat feet.
You just have
Come out the sides. You drag your fat.
Clonkety clonk.
Yeah.
I drive my fat ass
But it
everywhere.
is Thanksgiving.
It is. So happy to have you guys. I'm so thankful for you.
Thankful for all
Aw.
of you.
And I'm also thankful for alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes.
We this is a special shot actually. This is some alcohol called Sweet Revenge that we
Ooh.
got from someone at RTX. They gave it to Texas. His name is Ronald M. I
Ronald.
imagine his Twitter username is Ron_Martin_III. So thank you, Ronald, for the alcohol. We mix this with some Sprite, and we're gonna do a shot of it.
Thank you, Ronald.
Tyler,
What if
to
it's
you.
like-
Cheers.
It smells like a Starburst almost.
It does. Oh, that smells really good.
like candy? I really hope it's not called Sweet Revenge because you think it smells good and then tastes like ass.
Yeah. Or that he's like secretly hates us and this is him getting his revenge.
We'll find out.
Cheers to that. It's got a bite. It's got a bite to it.
Go.
That's some
Does.
alcohol in there.
I like
That
it.
that hurt a little bit.
Was there a burning
A
sensation?
little bit.
Yeah.
Was there ants in there?
Nope.
No ants?
That would be like fire ants.
Look at this. Jessica can't take shots, people, so everyone make fun of her for it.
Why can't you take shots?
She explains this literally every time.
Every
she
show.
Every show I do, because I can't burp, and so I can't just like down a bunch of liquid without it literally regurgitating back up my esophagus.
She would throw up on the table.
Make it
Yes.
an always open first.
No, I don't want that.
No one's ever thrown up on the show.
I don't want that.
All right, go, 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 go. Let's just do it. But I will sip very fancily.
There you go. Well, you'll sip fancily, and we're gonna go around the table. It's Thanksgiving. We got shit to be thankful for. I'm gonna move this so everyone could see my sweater that I'm thankful for. There you go. Can you see it now? No.
No.
Oh.
Here, hand me the.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
It just says
Perfect.
fuck shit up.
Fuck shit up.
Where'd you get that?
I got this from an online store of someone who sells these from France.
Oh.
I don't know the exact name, but it
good,
took
though.
about 4 months to get here.
Worth it.
So
Very much worth it.
if you really want this sweater, in 4 months you'll be very happy. No, but I thought we would all go around and say something that we're thankful for. It's a time of being thankful, so I've heard. I've never celebrated Thanksgiving.
Never? You've been in the
wait,
States
really?
for so long.
Yeah, but like even then, my family is not American.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you stay here for the most part, right? Like, you're usually here this time. Have you gone to, like,
Yeah, I've
someone
been
else's Thanksgivings?
Not really. I mean, if anything, like I would just go to someone else's place for food, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like, let's go around.
Have
the
you
room.
ever-
It's all about the food.
Have you
Well,
ever
I'm
gorged
football.
yourself all day full of food? And
That
then
happens to me
watched?
at least once a week.
Great. Okay, then
you
you
watch
know it.
football?
You have experience.
But yeah.
Here's experience.
So let me hear it. What are you guys thankful for? Other than me and
Ladies first,
having me in
please.
your life as a friend.
Gosh, I mean, this year has been. I always try for Thanksgiving when I'm reflecting. I always think of the year, the past year, and like all the changes and
Yeah.
stuff. My family's gone through a lot of changes this year, so I'm like thankful that we're still a pretty tight family unit after like a bunch of crazy shit happening in our lives. So
It has been a
thankful
crazy
for
year.
family as everyone else is, you know.
Yeah, and you guys just have the coffee shop opening up.
Yeah,
A lot of changes going on.
Yeah. Thankful for that guy right there.
I was waiting for it.
I know he's gonna start crying if I don't say it.
If you don't.
If I don't say it, yeah. So, thankful for good friends and even better meat.
I thought you said me.
Me. I'm good.
I'm
me,
great.
Me better now.
Jessica, what about you?
I am thankful for my family and friends, and mainly my friends and family.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Miss America.
Yeah, thank you.
Tyler?
That's good. You know, it's a Hallmark holiday. Thanksgiving's kind of silly, but it is good to be thankful for things. I'm thankful for I still have hair. That's a big
yeah.
deal.
You got a lot of hair.
The older you get as a guy, like, you know, I used to make fun of my friends that were going bald, and now that's a no-no. They'd rather have their small penis made fun of than the fact that they're losing hair on the top of their head. That's a big deal.
Really?
Got my hands, my legs, my mouth. I can walk, talk. That's pretty.
Yeah, you don't
that's
look
good.
like Bernice over there.
Or Bernice.
No, Bernice. That's pretty good. I have friends.
Yeah?
You do. I confirm.
Yes, that's good.
That was a question.
Yeah.
I have Mariel. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No one else.
No one else. Just Mariel.
Thanks for
I'll be
being
your
on the show.
And thankful that you had me on the show, as well as it should be. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm happy to have you here. I'm honestly like thankful for all of you, everyone here at Rooster Teeth and my family. But I think I'm having also a new appreciation for my health.
Yeah, it's important.
And it's also like my health is not perfect, but I'm alive. I'm able to move and
You can take
support myself.
shots.
I could take shots. And just I think also I'm thankful to know people who are such good people. Like we just had Extra Life this past weekend,
Yes.
and knowing a company who is so dedicated and passionate about a good cause, and also having a community that supports such a good cause, and just knowing these people and having these people be part of our lives is
Yeah.
like, I think a lot of people would be very fortunate to know them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So cheers to all those people, and cheers to the community for raising over $1.4 million
know.
dollars
That's
Insane.
amazing.
It was insane.
for the kids.
Yeah. Gosh, I was just talking. We always go live before we film the show, but I was just talking about how I had a break pretty much from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. and had nothing in between, and I had another thing at 4. And so I went to Blaine and Miles, and I was like, I will lose my goddamn mind if I don't do something in this next few hours. Like, can I just crash too spooky? And they were like, oh yeah, go for it. And I was like, I have my crab costume, I'll put it on. And they were like, oh yeah. And then like 2 p.m. hit, and 2 a.m. hit, and I was just like, out of my fucking mind. Like,
Yeah.
just had lost my shit entirely.
That's when it really starts.
Yeah.
That's when the brain starts to.
Oh yeah.
lose
That
its
segment's
function.
always just a wonderful clusterfuck.
Nothing good happens after 2 a.m., you know?
Or everything good.
Or everything good.
You had a great bit on the show.
It wasn't a bit. I was literally just going fucking nuts.
That's what's great.
Everyone kept sending me screenshots, and it was just like, I love the way Mariel stares into the camera, and I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just haven't slept, and I've been here since 10 a.m.
The greatest part is that whenever there was a donation of $1,337, when the siren goes off and everything goes crazy, Meryl would come on in her crowd costume.
Yes,
and, just run around and whatever. And so whenever the siren would go off, and like if you were busy doing something or like weren't there for that moment, Cole would just be like, "Where's that crap? Where is it?" And he just thought it was always behind him. It was a great moment.
But yeah, shout out to the broadcast team too.
Yes,
Those guys were
absolutely.
Well done,
amazing.
broadcast.
Yes.
Thankful for you guys,
Amazing,
Absolutely.
amazing.
but only during that weekend.
Yep.
And right now.
Just go cut to black.
All right, well, we're gonna start off with something brand new that we were supposed to test on the extra live stream that we did not. Eric, our producer, got us these hypotheticals.
Ooh.
Hypotheticals, my bad.
Hypotheticals.
They're these hypothetical questions that are just very over the top.
They're insane.
Okay.
And so I'm excited to see
Oh God.
your
Very
answers.
thankful for hypothetical questions.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, this is called the honesty room.
Now, are we all gonna answer this question?
I think whoever would like to
Okay.
Yeah.
could answer it.
All right, that works.
If you feel like you have a good answer. All right, there's some build up and then the question.
Okay.
Someone builds a paranormal honesty room. Within the walls of this room, it is impossible for anyone to tell lies or to avoid answering whatever questions they are asked. This same inventor also creates a memory loss drug that is released into the air inside the honesty room as it is airborne mist. What this means is that people who enter the honesty room will not remember what they said, what questions were asked, or even that they were even there. The only antidote to the memory loss drug is a pill, and you have this pill. So in essence, you have access to a room where every guest who enters will tell you the absolute truth about anything, and then immediately forget what they were asked and what they said. But you will retain everything you learn. You are inside the honesty room with your parents.
Oh God.
What do you ask them?
I think I could ask them some serious questions and be okay with that answer. Maybe not. It could fuck me up forever.
Well, what's the question?
I don't know. It's a little too personal. So I think it might be a little too personal.
Okay.
And my mom watches the show. She
Ooh.
could call me.
I might know what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it because this is what I would ask my
Okay,
parents.
go.
How many dates, Mom, till you gave it up?
Yeah.
It would go a long ways in me knowing more about myself. What's
You were the
embedded in
firstborn.
me. I have a number in mind, but again, the numbers game is not good. If you were to ask and you have a number in mind, like my mom being the saint that she is, I would hope that number is high as far as days go.
I feel like with your parents, there are a lot of questions you could ask that you'd be very disappointed about
Yes.
hearing. Like my initial thought was, do you have a favorite child? But I also don't think I want to know that.
Oh, I
It's probably-
100% know I'm the favorite.
Parents have favorites for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know I'm the
But do
favorite
you want to
too.
know if you're not? I mean, I think I'm the favorite too.
But at the
case
same
I'm
time,
not.
yeah. But in case I'm not.
I would maybe ask like, is there ever a time you lied to me as a kid?
I feel like my
I don't
family
know if I'd wanna
they
know
probably
that either.
did lie.
But
to
yeah,
me.
they did. I mean, all parents lie to their
always
kids.
Are you talking
to
about like
protect their
more than
kids.
white lies, like some serious
Like,
lies?
oh, all my candy's gone from Halloween. Where'd it go? Oh, it must have fell.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah. They definitely lied about that stuff for sure, but I'm talking about like,
Abortion?
no, for instance, my parents are divorced, so I'm just like, what happened there? You know? Even though I know what happened, but you never know if it's truly what happened.
Well, because especially when you're a kid, they're trying to sugarcoat a lot of things.
Absolutely. So I'm like,
That's a hard question.
it definitely,
All right,
definitely.
let's go a little simpler. I think I'm gonna like the answers to this one. Every person you have ever slept with is invited to a banquet where you are the guest of honor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No one will be in attendance except you, the collection of your former lovers, and the catering service. After the meal, you are asked to give a 15-minute speech to the assembly. What do you talk about?
Oh my God. What do you talk about?
Man. I feel like
That's a nightmare I actually have.
my first thought is like maybe I would do a lot of apologizing, but then my second thought is immediately like, why?
Yeah. I feel like I would give like a thank you speech. Like, thanks for teaching me some things. Thanks for teaching me some things that I really don't like.
Yeah.
Some
Like
things
that one
I-
time, Brad, you blew into my asshole. Wasn't into that.
Yeah. And just
That's what happened, right?
maybe another just like apology about how it just didn't work out. But thanks for the dick.
Hey, there you go.
For the D.
I'd just be like, like,
Yoinks.
sorry. You don't need to really go into
Why are we all
detail.
defaulting to apologizing?
I know who would be in my room. This isn't a bragging point, but the banquet hall would be a little bit too big for my comfort, and
Was
it'd be a
Did
tall
you say
order.
people what was it
Slept with.
people you've slept with?
I also think about like it wouldn't be a very big room.
That's good. That's good.
Like it'd be like
Yeah.
maybe 2 tables.
Yeah, mine would be 2
How many
tables, too.
Depending
Tables of
on
8?
2 tables of 8.
Two tables of 24?
No.
I'd see a lot of just this in the crowd. Just
Mine
a
are-
lot of.
I feel like I would see a lot of
Stairs.
confusion. I think a lot of the people that would just be like, "Why are we here? What does she have planned? And what are we in for? Is this there'd probably be some people like, is this an orgy?"
What if it was like?
Probably.
Actually, this would be fun to do. You know the Key and Peele president walk where they go up
Yes.
to like
Shake
everyone.
Yes.
Trying to imagine now in my head like which people I would like.
Yep.
I'd shake their hand. The other ones I'd be like, yeah, come on. dude."
Yeah.
Like, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would they
some
all
people
just
like,
slap
I don't
you in the
even
face?
remember you type thing.
Yeah,
But yeah.
there might be some of those. Do you guys? There was this thing a few weeks ago in the news about this girl who set up a bunch of Tinder dates to meet at one place in New York City.
Oh, God.
And she would like message guys and be like, "Oh, hey, like we should go out," and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, where do you want to go?" And she'd be like, "Meet me at like Central Park, this place, and then we'll go out on a date
Yeah.
or something like that." And so the day finally came. She shows up and there's like a whole stage and it's just her talking to all of these men that she has invited to this location, and all of them are like, "What the fuck?" Like
That
it was
is
some like
so
weird
weird.
social experiment that she was
What
doing.
did she say?
I don't remember.
Did any of them like stay around and like go on a date with her?
No, I don't think so. I think it was I can't remember. I remember seeing it from a guy who went and like tweeted about the whole thing.
Oh,
It was just like this insane person like set up this whole.
he's
this
like,
whole
okay,
thing.
we're all gonna take a single file line, and I'm gonna bend over. Just gonna see
Here you go.
which one of you I like the best.
That's a blind date for
Dinner.
sure.
All right,
What's next?
next one. You are offered a brain pill. If you swallow this pill, you will become 10% more intelligent than you currently are. You will be more adept at reading comprehension, logic, and critical thinking. However, to all other people you know and all the future people you will meet, you will seem 20% less intelligent. In other words, you will immediately become smarter, but the rest of the world will perceive you as dumber, and there is no way you could ever alter that universality of that perception. I can't read. Do you take the pill?
That's
I would
so-
not. I would not take this pill because to me, intelligence, like yes, it's important for you to have intelligence and be able to feel good about your knowledge and capacity and all that stuff. But to me, a lot of it is how others perceive you to be.
Yeah,
So if they're
agreed.
Like, oh, this person's an idiot. It doesn't matter how smart you really are.
Yeah, intelligence, because there's some people view intelligence of like, how much can you memorize and how much do you know? You know, like when the Civil War date was, or space and time. Although that's amazing.
1749.
Although that's amazing, I feel like you said, it's. I feel like real intelligence in the way is like with relationships with people
Yeah.
and stuff, emotional intelligence. Yeah, I wouldn't take it either.
I don't think I'd take it.
I'm taking it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it lets me know where I'm standing with other people. Yeah, they're gonna think I'm not as smart as
You also
them.
have nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
So
It's I think it puts you at an advantage to be more intelligent. Was that a short joke? Yeah, that's hilarious.
oh no, it was a.
It
You're
was
already
your
at the
dumb
bottom.
joke.
I'm a dumb joke. Yeah, I'm dumb. I'll take the pill.
You
You're
take
taking the pill?
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know. It's kind of I keep thinking about what you were saying. I'm gonna just throw that out the window because I
Yeah.
don't care what you say.
Yeah.
But I love Jessica.
That's the sweetest you've ever been to me, just in that moment, by the way.
Because I neg you. I gotta get in there. I don't know if I would. I don't think I would.
No.
You know, I would hate to like walk around knowing that people think I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already do that though.
Or even more stupid. I can only handle
Or stupider.
more stupid dumb. I can only handle a level of that.
Yeah, I want to
handle
be
more than
smart. SMRT. Smart.
Yep.
It's a Simpsons reference.
There you go.
All right, last one. Your best friend is taking a nap on the floor in your living room. Suddenly, you are faced with a bizarre existential problem. He/she is going to die unless you kick this slumbering friend as hard as you can in the rib cage. If you don't do this, he/she will never wake up. However, you can never explain your actions. If you later inform your friend that you did this to save his or her life, your friend will die from that.
Jesus Christ.
So you have to kick a sleeping friend in the ribs, and you can't explain why. Since you cannot tell your friend the truth, what excuse will you fabricate to explain this to them?
Yeah, I would definitely kick them in the ribs. And my excuse would be, I don't know, I just felt like it. Deal with it.
I don't know if I would take that excuse if you did that to me.
Really? You'd
I'd
be like, what the
fucking
fuck?
bitch.
I don't know. I couldn't control my right leg.
Well, how hard would you kick Tyler? And what would
Oh,
you tell him?
I would kick him in the ribs. I'd kick him in the nuts.
I'm disappointed in you.
Kick him in the
You
head.
should know better that I would not want to be disturbed, and please let me die.
I know you would want to die. I don't want you to die. though.
See, you know me so well that I'm looking at you.
I know you'd want it, but I want you to be miserable for longer, so I'd try to keep you alive.
That's why you're my best friends. I probably wouldn't question if somebody.
Yeah,
kicked me really
I honestly
hard.
don't think
Yeah.
Be like, ow.
if he fell asleep on my living room floor and I kicked him awake, I think he'd literally just be like, ah, what'd you do that for? And I'd be like, there was a bug on you. And be like, all right,
Okay.
Or should call me a lazy bitch or something
Yeah.
like that. Like I don't.
Get up.
Get up.
yeah.
It's 4 in the afternoon.
Would you kick me? Would you let me die?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the same thing. Like, get up, you lazy bitch.
Yeah.
True friendship.
There
I
you
feel
go.
like my kicks would be much easier to tolerate
I might-
than yours. You'd probably
Probably
break my
break
ribs.
your ass. I wouldn't hit your ribs. Like, oh,
Man, that's a really hard kick if you kicked her in the ribs and broke her ass.
just explode your butt cheek.
I would probably say that I was sleepwalking.
There you go.
Like-
Yeah.
Just
Sleep soccering.
sleep soccering.
Yeah. And I thought their rib cage was the soccer ball. I have very vivid dreams.
I'd believe it.
Like, listen, it was a high school championship, and I was there to win it.
Yep.
You got in the way.
I didn't punch. I smacked a girlfriend in the face when
That's
I was
illegal.
asleep. Like, it's kind of a dangerous thing to wake up a sleeping person. Like, I was sleeping on the couch and I
Yeah.
was having a nightmare. And when I woke up, there was somebody like on me, and I just reached out like that, and I accidentally hit her in the face. I had no idea who it was.
And she would be at that banquet folding her
It
arms.
should be like, I'd be like, I was asleep. Come on, that
Yeah.
was, and the other shit. Sorry.
Sorry about the other shit.
I had a boyfriend who would scream in his sleep.
You had night terrors?
But like, they weren't night terrors, I don't think, because like it wasn't. Aren't night terrors kind of like?
Like you're sometimes awake. Like I had them when I was a kid. Like you'd be awake, but you just scream and like you're just
Yeah.
like.
I had a boyfriend who like in the middle of the night I would be woken up by this, and I'd be like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. Oh my god! But it was just it wasn't screaming. It was like panic, and it would happen like at least once a week.
oh, fuck
Crazy.
that shit.
Every
Yeah.
time it would like terrify me because I'm just like I felt so bad. I'm like I don't know what you're dreaming about or what this is or how we could fix.
Did you ever
this.
wake him up? And then what did he say?
Yeah,
When
he would like I would like wake him up, be like, "You okay? You okay?" And then like he would like slowly go back to sleep. Like usually not respond, but
You ever seen Step Brothers?
Damn. Yes.
Don't wake up somebody who's sleepwalking.
Absolutely.
It's not a good idea.
yeah.
I love that movie.
Well, you know it is a good idea.
What is, Barbara?
Nice underwear.
There you go.
Shout out to MeUndies for sponsoring this episode of Always Open. This is the year that you could finally tackle your holiday shopping early, and guess what? You could get everything you need for you and your loved ones at MeUndies. MeUndies uses the coveted micromodal fabric, which is 3 times softer than cotton. That's a lot of times softer. If you've never felt this fabric, get ready to experience pure bliss in underwear form. You could also get any style that is perfectly suited for you. Men and women each can choose from 4 different cuts. I recently got some new PJ pants from MeUndies, the lounge pants, which are like the most comfortable pants I think I've ever owned. I was gonna let Trevor try them out, but then I said never mind, and I wanted them for myself. So I've been wearing them all weekend after Extra Life. We were very tired, and they were very comfortable to just lounge around in. The perfect lounge pant, and they were in this like very cute kind of wintry plaid pattern. which I'm a big fan of. Makes me feel like it's Christmas, and I love Christmas. This holiday season, MeUndies will be releasing a new print every Tuesday. That means you'll have no excuse not to celebrate the holidays, right down to your very core. But why stop at undies? This year, MeUndies is launching their new holiday prints in lounge pants and onesies as well. And I can't even imagine how comfortable the onesies would be, probably extremely. MeUndies has a great offer for our viewers. For any first-time purchasers, when you purchase any MeUndies, you get 15% off and free shipping. To get your 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/open. That's MeUndies.com/open. Thank you, MeUndies.
Perfect.
You got some lounge pants.
I got some lounge pants. I've got some MeUndies underwear. I've got a MeUndies bralette.
Oh.
Got it all.
I'm wearing my snowflake MeUndies right now. I love them.
Wow.
Yeah.
He showed us
He did show us.
when the camera
Keeps
was
my
not on.
Christmas tree all nice and warm.
There you go.
Is that what you call it?
A Christmas tree.
I like that.
It's got two
Year
little-
round, too.
Two
Yeah.
little ornaments.
Christmas tree.
That's what he calls it year round.
This is my
No
menorah.
presents though.
Well, just make sure you wrap it up.
Yes.
Safe sex, everybody.
Yes, please.
All right, so let's go on to our first question. That is not a hypothetical question. This one is from Ryan T, and Ryan wants to know, what would a mirror opposite of yourself be like?
Probably a dirty whore. I am
So,
not.
so you're not a dirty whore.
I'm not, but I do wish that perhaps before I met the man that I'm with now, I would have been sexually more active. Before
When did you guys start dating?
3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And before then, I've always been like, man, I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna go sleep around. And then I just never did because, like, in my head, I'm a dirty whore, but then my body is not, although I wish it was. So that would probably be one of those.
So your opposite would be a dirty whore, but wishes she was not.
Yes, there you go.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Exactly. That's number one.
Painting an image in my head.
All right. Okay.
I think I would love maybe more positive. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit more negative.
Yeah, I feel like you're a very positive person.
Well, in my mind, maybe not as much.
Oh, okay.
Those are some two big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is there something you're thinking of?
Oh, no. I just love that your first thing was, I want to be a dirty whore.
It's not that I want to be.
Happy Thanksgiving,
maybe.
everyone.
It's just that
That's the title of
that would
this
be the
episode.
opposite of who I am.
Yeah.
That's something that me and one of my best friends talk about all the time. Where she's
We've never
just
talked about that.
interesting, very.
You can't be everyone's best
I know,
friend,
I know.
Ariel. You gotta leave some of them for me.
Yeah, I don't know. We talk about it a lot. She's just because she's been with this guy for 8 years.
Yeah.
And so she's getting married to him and stuff. And so we talk about that a lot. Like, should we have been more promiscuous? Should I just leave it?
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's been in a lot of long-term relationships,
Yes.
And then came out of one and was single for a year and a half-ish, and I was like, now is my time to go out and experiment. Really not as fun as you think it would be.
Everyone says it's overrated.
It's a little overrated because
okay.
it's like dating apps and all that stuff is it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like you're constantly going into job interviews. So just the process of like meeting people and going on a
Exhausting.
date, and then you're just like, so where are you from? What's your family like? What do you like to do? Like it's the same questions every date you go
Yeah.
on, and then like sometimes you end up hooking up, and then 99% of the time it turns out to be nothing exciting or good. It's also like not that safe.
Yeah.
I luckily never had anything too scary happen to me when I was single. I had like one incident where some guy was a little too aggressive, but then it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy with the person you're with, I think that's all that matters. There's like such a high pressure on like, I need to experiment with all these people. And
Yeah, I think that's it. And
Yeah.
I think, and I'm glad that I don't feel that way as much now, especially since being with Devin. But before, I definitely did feel that way. I was just like,
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm a serial monogamous. I've just been in relationships. So I'm like, man, you know,
I feel also the opposite of you would be very cold. Because you're a very
really?
You're a very warm person.
That's so weird. That so maybe I'm weird or warm, but then I always want to like go home and hermit by myself. Like people are like, "Hey, we're going out tonight." Like tonight, Funhouse is going out. And I'm like, I'm going inside my hole.
Oh, that's cool. I wish I would have gotten invited.
Yeah,
that
cool
would have been
invite.
cool.
Is for
It's fine, Elise.
Is it for Arizona Circle?
It's fine. Oh, no, it's fine. Cool.
Okay.
Whatever.
I got a phone call.
I don't.
By who?
He's the exception.
My Funhouse friends. You guys aren't?
Name one.
Elise.
Damn.
I can name 2. Josh, technically.
Technically.
Josh is my in. Whatever.
Oh man, I instantly went tall. Tall and confident. That's what I went.
For you? For your opposite?
See that's so crazy because I see that you are confident. Maybe you're not as tall as you like to be, but for me, I feel like you're very like you're a boss ass bitch. I
Do you
do.
think that?
I
Oh,
do.
no. Look at Tyler shaking his head.
I was not doing that
You
off
were
camera.
shaking your head. You were. Yeah, no, I mean, I wish I was more secure about things. I'm a little insecure about some things. There's some things that I'm like very confident in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I'm more insecure about.
Likewise.
You guys, I mean, everyone has their insecurities, but you
Yeah.
two are fabulous.
Thanks.
And more people should be telling you that.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, I just wish I had more of a. I wish I was like more active in things, not just like active as a person, but like I don't know. I wish I had more hobbies.
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably be a busier person. Not to say I think I'm busy now, but I'd be busier doing things that I enjoy rather than like busier doing things that I feel like are done for other people.
Yeah.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah, I'm similar. I was trying to think of all the qualities that I have and what the opposites would be, and I just started going down the line and just got to be too many. But ultimately, someone who is short, very extroverted, loves to drink and get drunk all the time, who is, I'm trying to think of the word, because I am a very like shy person, but I pretend not to be. And it's like debilitating at
Yeah.
times.
It's internally exhausting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think the term is like an extroverted introvert, or an introverted extrovert. One of the
As
two.
in that's who you are or you would be.
That's who I am. I'm an extroverted introvert. So I like get energy by being alone and not being surrounded by people, but I still like get serious FOMO if I'm not invited out places, and I feel like really left out. And I'm like, yeah, but if they invited me, I don't know if I would go anyways.
Same here.
Which I feel like a lot of people could relate to. So I think my opposite would just be like constantly trying to go out and do things and learn things too. Like I have no hobbies, and it kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, I don't have any hobbies anymore. I used to like paint and stuff, and I wish I don't know why I don't do these things anymore.
Adulthood.
Yeah. Man. I need to get my shit
Is that-
together.
What does that look?
I don't know, it was just a look. I'm just looking at her. Tyler,
Tico?
what would opposite Tyler be?
I probably sound like this, and
True.
I'd be really nice, and ooh, vaginas are gross, and
Do you say vaginas?
vaginas, I don't know what they are, never seen one, and I wouldn't have a beard.
You wouldn't have a beard.
What else?
Probably be a good person. I would hate myself. Cry myself to sleep every night, yeah.
What are you?
No, I'd be happy.
Hey, I'm really, really glad you're on the show today, Tyler.
Me too.
Really happy that you're doing well, buddy.
Me too. Very happy. Be a very happy person.
I used to follow you on Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat anymore, but when I used to follow you on Snapchat, you would post these things where it would be like a blurry picture of your face. And it would be like, we all die someday.
Very nihilistic.
Just nihilistic, yeah. Somebody who's the opposite of nihilistic, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
Also somebody that would know how to make successful shows would be the direct opposite of that as well.
So me,
So you, yeah, absolutely.
You would be Barbara.
I would
The
be
voices.
Barbara, and you would be me.
I do hate vaginas.
Oh, that's a shame.
Squish.
Yeah, oh, that's good shit. Oh, yeah.
What do you think is your biggest insecurity?
My biggest insecurity? My
Yeah.
God, I'm filled with it. I mean, that's why, let's be honest, it's why a lot of us are in entertainment.
Yeah.
It's, you get to hide in plain sight. is how you deal with a lot of this shit. You go down the line with people who work in entertainment who deal with mental illnesses like myself, because I'm bipolar. I've talked about that before. Like, that's a perfect place for me to be, is to have delusions of grandeur in my mind while pursuing, grand things. Like, it's the way that it goes.
What's weird about that is, and I feel like I know you pretty well.
Yeah, you're one of my best friends here.
Not as well. He did it. But I feel like I have never seen like that bipolar side of you. Like, I feel like every time I see you and hang out with you, you're like, you're just you. You're Tyler.
Sometimes. I mean, most of the day, like most times, it's not most of the time, but like every day is an act. You have to put on a mask. So many of you do that no matter what you deal with. We all have tons of masks. The problem is that you forget when you're wearing one, when you're not wearing one. And we all deal with that. So. Yeah, if I could be the opposite, that would be nice to not have that, because it's excruciating. It sucks.
Yeah. There's I don't know if you guys are watching or have watched the documentary that Shane Dawson did on Jake Paul about sociopaths. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but a lot of people in entertainment are sociopaths, where they basically learn behaviors on how, like, what behaviors you like from me, and like what kind of mask I could put on if I'm with you, or with this audience, or with these people, trying to please them, or like, I've learned this behavior from watching this person on YouTube, so I'm gonna do that because it gets this response. And it's almost like you don't know how to just be yourself, and you're constantly just putting on an act to please people around you and to get a certain emotional reaction from people.
That's very true.
It's harder for me to do the Rooster Teeth personality stuff than do acting, because when I'm acting, I'm hiding behind a character. I'm like, oh, you can't judge me for this because I'm this character. But if I here now as Jessica, like, it's purely like vulnerable. There is a mask on right now, of course, but it's not the same type of mask as if you're like a different character. So it's so easy to just do that compared to these things are harder for me personally.
They're very challenging.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people watching could relate too, but watching anything Rooster Teeth puts out, podcasts or shows like this, we all have to be on, and we try to make it look natural and that it's just us, which for the most part it is, but it's still
Especially I think this show is one of the most vulnerable that we have, right? Like, we literally just sit here and talk about our feelings most of the time.
Yeah, but I think, a lot of people don't understand the difficulty putting yourself out there like that and wanting to put all of yourself out there to the audience and still like retain a little bit of yourself without exposing that.
And also deal with, like, sometimes horrible comments about yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm being myself.
Yeah.
This is
it's not a character.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's not a
mind the
character.
terrible comments. I actually kind of live for those. Those are good. And you should wear them like armor.
I think you learn to put on armor after a while and wear them like armor, but I think no matter how long you've been doing this or how many things you've been a part of, they all still sting.
Well, then that's like they find new things to sting about, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I never realized that. This is out of context, but I want to talk about it a little bit because I think it's interesting that yesterday Barbara and I you're currently taking it too. We're all taking an improv class together, and yesterday our improv coach had us do improv as each other. So it was like, you look to the person to your right or to your left, you look to the person to your right, and then you're now doing improv as that person would do improv.
So
right?
you're not, like, I wouldn't be Meryl, I would be Meryl doing improv. So like a character that she would do or portray.
Okay.
Or
But
mannerisms
it was
that she had.
it was very interesting because I feel like with improv, it's obviously you're trying to play a character, but it's also very vulnerable because you're up there as yourself trying to do something else. So it was just interesting watching other people try and be me and being like, oh shit, is that what I do?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is that what people know me for? Which is funny because like everyone that was playing me was immediately someone who was like shy and reserved or like kind of like didn't want to be, in the spotlight, didn't want to talk to people. And I was like, well, yeah, that's just me.
I mean, some things come out like that when
Yeah.
you're doing improv. It was a very eye-opening experience, though, because then after that, our teacher, Dave, said, all right, take all those impressions that people have done of you, because it would be multiple people doing
Yeah.
impression of you, and then make a heightened character of that you now have to do. So you'd essentially just be like a cartoon heightened version of whatever character you would be playing, usually in improv. My favorite one, though, and I think it's obvious, like everyone could grasp his mannerisms so well, is Max.
Max.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone would just come out and be like,
Just like very like sensual.
what are you doing today?
Bad baby.
Yeah.
I'm a witch.
Yeah. Just like a weird
Yeah.
thing. But anyway, it was off topic, but it just like
No,
kind of
this
hits.
is always open.
Well, yeah. That's in the
moving.
future, right? We're
Yeah.
doing off topic. It was just one of those things where it was like, oh, is that how I come off to people, that I'm shy and insecure because that's how I feel? But then you guys sit here and tell me the opposite. They're like, but in that improv class, that's what everyone picked up on.
I think it's more like
See-
you tend to go to those characters. Like, it's not that you are shy or insecure. But
Oh no, I am. This is telling you that.
Yeah, it's so weird. I wish I want to have like one day where we can all take off all of our many masks that we have, like the layers and layers and layers of masks that we do have, and truly just like be ourselves, where maybe when you are in a conversation of pure small talk, which is like boring you to death, and you really truly say what you feel and how you want to act in those moments. But
the scary part is, though, when you do that, there's times when certain people in the audience tear that apart. And that's the scariest part, because that's when you're like, no, this was just like me putting all of myself out there.
Yep.
And that is terrifying for someone to tear any of that apart, because that's
It
just
is.
all of me. At least if you're putting on a mask or a character when you're on things, it's like, okay, well, if they tear that apart, it's not really
It's not me.
100% me. So
Yeah.
I could kind of take it with a grain of salt.
absolutely.
There's a lot of people out there too that can relate to this feeling, is that if you are given the opportunity to remove every costume and mask that you have, and the world is standing at your attention and the world says, what do you want to say? Two things. Like, one, sometimes I know I find myself in this a lot, is where I have nothing to say. Climb my way all the way to the top to let everybody know exactly who I am, and then when the world says, fine, go, you have nothing.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
you speak into the void and the void doesn't speak back.
Yeah.
It's even more terrifying. It's
You
a
get
tough
more.
it's a tough thing to deal with. And it's a reason why there's, I mean, insecurity and anxiety and depression and all that stuff, it isn't talked about enough. And I think, at least for me, you guys know me, I don't really give a fuck to, I don't have a filter, say whatever I want, because there's camaraderie down at the bottom. And with the truth, even if it's dirty, it's this
It's still the truth.
this thing that combines, all of us.
Yeah.
So
And I think social media makes all of this so much worse.
I sometimes
unfortunately.
wonder what my life would be like if I was never on social media.
It's funny. I use it as a more of a coping mechanism. Like, I don't look at Twitter, Instagram, or anything other than a distraction. Especially when like I'm feeling like my most anxious. To break out of that, I'm just gonna distract myself with mindless shit that I don't really care about. So I just, half the time, I'm just scrolling. I'm not even looking. It's just like an activity for me to do.
Yeah. I get that. But then I have a friend who was recently in town, and her boyfriend, who was with her at the time, has nothing, no social media, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, doesn't really go on the internet much, YouTube or anything like that. And I just wanted to be like,
What do you do?
what's your life like? Like,
Yeah.
what is that like? It must be
Is he happy?
so freeing.
he probably fucking
probably
is.
I
really
feel like he'd be
Probably really happy,
It is.
Because he would have, we talk about not having hobbies. I think all the time that I use on my phone, I could be using towards a hobby and bettering myself. There's so many times where I'm on my phone for hours and then I stop and then I come back to reality and I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I could have been reading a book or working out or doing something that betters me as a human being, but instead I'm on social media.
I
Like-
literally had the exact same thought last night. I was
Just
on my phone
why?
for 2.5 hours yesterday after I got home from work.
It's-
And I was just like, always like, okay, after I read this, I'm gonna put my phone down. Okay, one more. Like, it just kept happening until
It's
I was
truly
like, I
an
wasted
addiction.
2.5 hours of my day.
You know what's fun? The iPhone now has the screen time, and it'll tell you how much.
Oh my God.
And
so
ever since it
depressing.
came out, every report that I get is now 20% less.
Oh, good.
That's
because I've
good.
been like noticing it, and like I don't need to look at my phone anymore.
job.
Like,
Yeah.
like I do use it as a coping mechanism. Like I know that.
Yeah.
But now it's more like, okay, I'll use it for when I need, for like only those moments that I need to like a distraction, and then I don't really.
See, for me, the biggest problem is I feel like I'm gonna miss out on something. If
The
I'm not
FOMO that we
constantly
were just
checking.
talking about earlier. When you were talking about Twitter, yeah, like the same thing is just like if I go on these social media sites to distract myself, I'm also opening myself up to FOMO and feeling like I'm not good enough when I see somebody else doing something that I want to do, making their own short films
Yeah.
and stuff.
I
Like,
wonder what
but,
it would
you
be
know,
like if you
it's-
never saw those things.
Well, hey, I mean, I can't remember who said it. This wasn't me, but nobody posts their failures. All that shit you see online is just absolutely useless. All the
Right.
Instagram models,
We should
all
start
that crap.
We should
Doesn't
start.
matter.
Post your failures.
Yeah,
It'll
like
just
if
be-
I have
Yeah.
a night where I'm breaking down and crying, I should just take a picture of it and be like, I'm having a bad night tonight.
We should do that. Hashtag post your failure.
Yeah. Well, not
Do
necessarily
it.
even your failure, just like when you're not having a great day.
Just
Because
like something,
that's
yeah.
it. They say that they post their highlight reels.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't post like
Yeah.
when you fucked up or whatever, like
Yeah.
if you lose your job or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what you should be doing, and this is a plea to the audience. I spend a majority of my time on Twitter finding things to send to Mariel to make her cry.
That's true. As not just you, the entirety of Twitter
I
does.
love
Every fucking day I get notifications. Have you cried today? Like,
Every
nope,
day I'm
no, I
looking
didn't.
for one thing. I'm like, nah, she probably said this, but nah, this will get her. This will make her cry.
Yeah.
She fucking hates it. I
Yeah.
love it.
I love it. I think I take pride in being that kind of vulnerable. I like,
Yeah.
I like am very much in tune with my emotions and know that like sometimes you just gotta cry it out, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's 3 times a day.
And
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 6 times a day.
Sometimes send nudes, you
Absolutely.
know? I mean, if you want to
Sometimes
send me
send
nudes, fine.
There you go.
Whatever.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
that's,
or
it's,
don't.
it's all there. You know,
Yeah.
it's all gravy.
I think
Absolutely.
the only complication, and I've had this before online, I had the exact same idea, like Twitter and Instagram and all these social media sites is really only people's highlight reels. And so I've gone to the effort of like, if I'm having a bad day or I'm super anxious about something, I like post about it. Like, hey, I'm feeling anxious today. Like, does anybody have any tips or blah, blah, blah. And there are always some people who are just like, oh, you're just looking for attention or you're just looking for sympathy. And it's like, no, I'm just being honest with people who like think that people online are perfect and have never had any sort of negative emotion or
Yep.
negative day or just a low time in their life. And it's like, I'm not looking for attention. I'm not looking for validation.
Yeah.
I'm
Some
just-
people are. I know that's not you.
Sure.
A lot of people that post that stuff, that's not what their goal is.
Right.
So.
And I don't know. I just think
Yeah.
there needs to be an understanding of like,
We
I'm
should
just
be
trying
kinder to each other.
Let's give each other the benefit of the doubt. Be kinder to
Also,
each other.
it's for the fucking trolls. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You're right.
None of them. Mary can tell you, I've saved every negative comment. There's a few of them I've ever gotten here or during my radio days, and I have them in a file, and I go back and I read them and I laugh because somebody taking the time out of their day to tell you a person they've never met face to face that you suck. Think about their life
You're right.
for a second. Like their life is not in a good place for them to do that. They're not a great person in their own right, whatever facet of their life.
Yeah.
To the guy that said, you know, my head looks like a dump truck. That's fucking hilarious.
You know what? That's the funny thing. You always send me the worst ones, and they're funny.
They're so the guys that say
creativity of people
Yeah,
sometimes,
the
like-
creativity is awesome. The guys are like, the fucking ass fight. Like, dude, that's not funny.
That is funny
The
to
dude that said Tyler looks like salt, that's funny.
Oh, what does that even mean?
Salt's tasty.
See, this is why I'm jealous. Like, those are funny insults, which like
Yeah.
don't make any sense.
You text
Whereas
me.
like insults,
You
that-
get the bad ones. I
Insults
mean,
for me
women-
are just like, man, is she pregnant? Because she looks fat.
Just-
Or like,
Like,
Bullshit.
fuck yeah, I am pregnant. What's up?
there was someone on the internet the other day where like I was wearing something that wasn't flattering, like whatever. Yeah, I've gained a little weight here and there.
Me
We all-
too.
I'm
Good.
fucking almost 30. What do you expect? Shit's hard to keep up with when you're old.
It fucking is.
But someone posted, Barbara is pregnant. And someone was just like, you're making a statement. How do you know this? And they're like, well, you see in her lower abdomen, it looks like blah, 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 blah. And they were just like picking
I'm a
apart.
doctor.
And I responded to that comment. I went, nope, just fat.
Yeah.
I do want to say, as a man, like I definitely have it easier online. I know that goes without saying. That's why I said it, to just reiterate.
I think it's just, I mean, yes,
Yeah.
and commonly women do have a difficult time online, especially when they
Extremely.
work in an industry that is heavily male dominated or male audience dominated. But I think, regardless, if you're putting yourself out there online, you
You're
have a
gonna get some
difficult
shit.
time.
Yeah. You're gonna get some shit.
Well, you know what makes me feel better? Having a nice movement watch.
Hey.
We're gonna stop getting sponsors one day.
No, we're never gonna stop.
This episode of Always Open is also brought to you by Movement. We all know and love Movement. They're our favorite underdog success story. Founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank, they've sold over 1.5 million watches worldwide by bringing quality designs at a fair price. With Movement's versatile line of watches, glasses, and accessories, you'll be sure to find the perfect holiday gift this season. I love giving out Movement watches for the holidays, and especially on special occasions. They have so many to choose from, and you're sure to find something for even the pickiest person on your gift list. Movement watches are all about looking good while keeping it simple. They don't tell you how many steps you've taken or blow your wrist up with the text messages. They're not overly intrusive on life with notifications, text messages, emails, and they tell time like true classic timepieces should and look good doing it. Movement did all the hard work this season so you wouldn't have to, and they made awesome gift boxes and packages. If you need help giving the perfect gift this season but don't know where to start, the guys over at Movement Watches got your back. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/open. Movement's launching new styles on their site all the time, so check out their latest at movement.com. Go to movement.com/open. That's mvmt.com/open. Join the movement.
Who is this? What is this?
That's Pickles Farmers.
That's Eric Bedour.
The second.
Oh my God, it does look like him. It does. Oh, Eric.
That's a
Can we-
Puritan.
Hey, Peyton, can we get a lower third right here?
Eric Bedour.
Eric Bedour. Put it in. There it is.
Cut this out.
Nope. There he is. You're beautiful, Eric.
That's good stuff.
He's a pickle farmer.
Is that what
He's a pickle
pilgrims do?
farmer.
That's the Drake pose.
He's praying that his priest won't touch him anymore.
Now we're gonna have to cut that out.
What? That's just
Well-
a fact.
It's not wrong.
Careful around the holidays. Old Father O'Malley. Don't go in that back room alone.
Oh.
Barbara, is there another segment we could do?
All right, we're gonna wrap things up with our hotline. We got a caller who left us a wonderful message, and we're gonna listen to it and answer the question.
I'm in my second year of college, and I've barely made any new friends and don't really even talk to the people in my classes. I deal with some pretty bad self-esteem issues, and I guess you could say social anxiety. I've started a group therapy this year, which has helped for some things, but not really the self-esteem issues. I was wondering what is some advice you would give to help boost your own self-esteem?
It's funny. It's
question.
pretty much
That's a good one.
talks about a lot of what we were already kind of hitting on, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
He said just started college, correct?
Yeah.
It's a tough time.
Ooh, yeah. Right out of high school, early college, I think is when a lot of people's self-esteem is very low. Because in high school, you have your friends, everything is kind of not easy, but a little more simple. College is when real life really starts, and you're sometimes in a different city, you have all new classmates and people who you don't know, and you're really discovering like what your future is going to be, and I feel like that's a very rocky time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
At least it was for me. I don't know about you
Yeah.
guys. But yeah, it's
Gosh, I feel like even
Tough
then,
time.
your life really doesn't start until post-college, and then after that, you really don't know who you are until maybe your 30s. I feel like I've like experienced that. Like the people that I see who are the most confident, and I'm like, that's what I want to be like. When I look at how old they are, I'm like, oh, I've got time. Like I can figure this out just like they have,
yeah.
Because I remember like being in college and being super insecure and just not knowing who I was, not knowing what was going on, and like not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. And a lot of those things are still up in the air. But I feel like I have a little bit more of a grip on that, and like a little bit more based on reality. And I think the older I get, the more confident I will be in myself. I don't know, man. There's like I feel like women in their 30s like have it together.
Yeah.
How old are you?
26.
Okay.
29. I'll let you know next year.
Yeah. Keep me updated.
But I'm 30 and I'm still.
You're 30?
Yeah, I turned 30 in June.
Yeah, you
and I still am very. I still have extreme self-esteem issues, and I went to a high school where I was severely bullied, Mainly from women, which is why I think I have issues like with female friendships. Not with you guys. Well, her, but
Who?
you, no.
Like not her.
Oh yeah.
Bernice.
Bernice.
We all have issues with Bernice.
Yeah, high school was not a good time for me, with all the bullying and all that. When I got to college, I went in with low self-esteem, but then I entered the theater program, and there's a bunch of crazies in the theater program, and so I realized there that I could be more of myself, and I feel like I found the foundation of what would be my tribe in the way of, what I mean by that is people that like are similar, like people that we're all crazy, but artists in some form or
And
fashion.
also very insecure.
And
I
also
love that you
very
said
insecure.
tribe. That's probably one of the whitest things I've ever heard you
Is
say.
it? Oh, sorry,
my
y'all.
tribe.
Me and my tribe, yes. And I don't know, and I still struggle with self-esteem issues. I'm currently looking for a therapist.
Hey.
You know, I will always encourage that on this show, is therapy.
I mean, he mentioned that he was in group therapy,
That's
I believe,
therapy.
which is
great.
a great first step.
That will only, I feel, help you.
Yeah, group therapy. I recently finally started going to therapy consistently.
Yes.
The last like month and a half or so, which has been so great. And it's just so nice to have someone completely unbiased that you can just go and unload on, and then just be like, you know, it's something that I've become that person who's like, well, my therapist says. I say that to all my friends now, but.
But you have friends now
basically-
that support you.
Oh, all my friends,
yes.
everyone in my life. You know, and it was, except for Tyler, he's just like, you're an idiot. You should stop.
Terrible person.
He was like, you have to pay for someone to listen to you. Wow. But no, it's been so great to have that resource. As just like, I know, you know, once a week I can just have this moment. That's for me. I don't have to give anything of myself to anyone else except like this is my hour that I get. And so it's been so great. So like the fact that group therapy scares the fuck out of me. I don't know if I could do group therapy.
That I feel like you need to be a special type of brave
Yeah.
to go into group therapy, because that's like multiple people all talking about the problems that they have.
I can speak to it.
Yeah.
I can speak to this guy fairly well, and I feel like being fairly open to talk about this. He asked, you know, as far as self-esteem goes, what can you do? And my advice would be discipline is what will get you more self-esteem.
How so?
For me, I've dealt with being bipolar since I was diagnosed when I was 13 or 14, but you don't really start that year and whatever. It's just who you are. And I've dealt with alcohol issues, a little bit of drugs, and just some severe turmoil in my life. And I'm somebody who tried to commit suicide twice, as late as when I was 25. And the thing that really got me out of all that, when I started doing therapy for, you know, God knows how many years and trying different things, is the discipline to pull myself out. I remember the second time I tried to end things, I checked myself out of the hospital and I went straight to a gym. And I haven't left. And that became my discipline. I'm not telling this individual to go work out. What I'm saying is that it was little things that gave me purpose. The making the bed, making my own breakfast, going to the gym, these tiny little victories that you can give yourself will actually, it'll make you have more self-value. Therefore, you'll have some more self-esteem. Instead of leaving a messy room when you go out to your classes, tidy it up. Wake up a bit earlier. Give yourself a little bit more purpose, and that can definitely help you drive to be a better person. It's going to put you on the right path. And
So do you think like focusing a lot more on yourself and things you could do for yourself will help?
Yes, and it's the toughest thing to do. Self-help is very difficult. But here's the thing, is that motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes every day. Being disciplined, though, when the motivation isn't there, is more important than being motivated to be up and more motivated to, you know, meet people. If you can just stick to things and make plans. I will go to this social event every week. I will do this. I will talk to this person. If you just stick to that, even if you don't want to, it's definitely going to help. And when it comes to group therapy, that's something I just jumped into. Felt like I was in a stage where I really needed to do that. And I've had a therapist for 5 years. We have an amazing relationship.
That's great.
Very unconventional. We get to take walks and talk to her on the cell phone. That's not for everybody, but she's somebody who's very close to me. And group therapy is a goddamn nightmare. It is tough. It is
Yeah.
very much like. Without giving away too much of my group, I can't really talk about it. It's a little bit like AA, where you just do not discuss what goes on in the group, but it'll be very much like Mariel walks into the room, you sit down, and we start grouping. I say, Mariel, the way you walked in made me feel really uncomfortable. And then we stop and we say, well, Tyler, why did that make you feel uncomfortable? And you dive into all sorts of different issues of who you are. It's just walking into a room full of mirrors. So for this individual doing this, good sir, I have a few years on you and a lot of experience in this. You're very brave for doing it. It is so difficult. And for somebody who's lived a public life, done radio, TV, and film, it's extremely hard to still go into a small room and be able to be put on a pedestal like that.
Yeah.
Discipline, and don't stop going to therapy.
Well, it's interesting that you say discipline and motivation, because I feel like if you have the two of those things and they're in balance, you can like accomplish anything in your life, right? Like anything you set your mind to, you can, because there's so many times where it's like, I'm motivated to do this, but I'm not gonna put the effort in. Or it's like, this is something I know I wanna do, but I'm not motivated to do it, you know? So it's just having the balance between those things, I think, like, is just such a hard thing to accomplish.
You're right.
Yeah. And also, like, you and I talked about this recently. Adult friendships are fucking hard.
They're super hard.
Even like, you know, we're lucky that we all know each other from work and we've become friends through that. But not everyone has that luxury of becoming friends with people that they work with or go to school with. And just trying to make friends with someone, especially in college when everyone usually has like their own thing going on. They might already have their own friendships going on. It's hard to break into that and say like, hey, good sir, also in my econ class, would you like to be friends with me?
Yeah.
Or like,
I've asked people that, like, do you want to be friends?
Yeah.
And it sounds strange, but also like, how else are you gonna ask them to? How else are you gonna like make that next step? I mean,
without it seeming like a date proposition.
Yeah.
Too, which
Well, even then, you're still like, in a sense, dating people, right? Like you're dating your friends when you're like, let's go get a cup of coffee together. Let's
especially
get to know
in your
each other.
adult friendships.
Yeah, and with people, like, we're very lucky that we do have this built-in group. We're all similar ages, we all get along, you know, but, like, I can't imagine, like, if I were to leave this place or, like, go work someone else. I mean, I think I wouldn't struggle too much, but I would still be terrified of the fact that, like, oh, shit, now I have to, like, you know, because there's people who go to work, and they come home, and they go to work, and that's the only time they ever see or talk to those people.
Yep.
But for us, it's like everything's so intertwined, you know? Like we were hanging out this past weekend.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy.
Yeah.
like someone asked me recently, they're like, oh, you moved to Austin 7 years ago. Do you have any friends in Austin who are not related to Rooster Teeth? And I don't. Not a single one.
Yeah.
And that's hard, especially if you're in a new city for college or work or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Making new friends in a new city is terrifying. And I don't have a single person here that I know, other than like friends of guys who I've dated in Austin. But even then, like I wouldn't call them up and be like, hey, you want to hang out? It was just acquaintances.
You know a few of my exes. Come on, that's like a little bit of a start.
Sometimes I get as bold as to invite myself to things if I'm just like feeling lonely or I'm like, I don't have any friends. Just somebody that I even feel semi-comfortable with being like, hey, I heard you guys were playing board games this weekend. Like, I would love to go if that's okay. And sometimes people might not like that approach, but sometimes I'm weird.
I love that approach.
So I'll just be like, I'm gonna come too.
I wish more people would do that.
That's the approach I take with our good friend Mia Khalifa. Tyler would be like, I'm hanging out with Mia, she's cooking. I'm like, all right, I'm on my way.
Even though I don't ask you or want you to, you show up anyway.
No one does, I show up anyway.
But you know, just let serendipity take the reins, and it is showing up to things. It's
You're
for this
right.
individual. There's so many things that go on in a college campus. Just show up, not with the intention of making a friend. Just put yourself there. Showing up is half the battle. Put yourself in a position, and you might bump into somebody. And one friend that's great.
It's also like,
It's a start.
It doesn't have to be like instantly, oh, you'll meet someone at this event and be like,
Why
oh,
not?
hey, you want to hang out? It could be someone who you have seen in this class and that you see in the cafeteria, and then you see them again here, and it's just like, hey, like, you want to sit with me at lunch? Or like, you know, just get to know someone slowly. It doesn't have to be like an instant.
Is it for girls? Is it harder? Like for me as a guy, I don't know why it is, but it's hard for me to make male friends. I have a lot of male friends, and like you said, with work and whatnot, and I have my core group I've grown up with since I was like
It is
5.
Yeah.
way harder for me to make female friends.
Me too.
Right, like you're asking out. I have such an easy time making girlfriends. Like it's very easy for me to.
I
do
remember
that,
there
but,
was,
like,
I don't know if we've talked about this on the show, but there was a guy that I don't know if you were training with him or if you were
Yes,
working out
I
at the
was.
same time.
Oh man.
And you kept asking me, you're like, well, I want to hang out with him, but like, I don't know how to ask that without making it weird. And
Making it seem like you're asking him on a date.
Yeah, it was
Which
like
you want to be like, hey, I just
like,
want to be friends
get to
with
know you.
Yeah. It's,
and he was so like, I remember you being so torn up about that.
I was. It was
But-
really hard. I didn't know what to, because he's a great guy. He's very good looking, and that's just strictly from a
But it's
human
funny-
being to a human being.
It's funny that you say that because we have a mutual friend that you've known for a while now, and I've just kind of started, Aunt Kathy is what we call
Yes,
her,
yes.
started becoming a little closer to, and she texted me one day and she was like, hey, we should go get dinner, and I got so nervous, and I was like, what are we gonna talk about? Like, what if this isn't fun? Like, what if she's like, oh, this is such a lame like hangout,
Yeah.
and I was instantly just like, oh God, like, hey, I'm trying to make this new friend, but like, I don't know how it's gonna go. Maybe I should just cancel. And I texted Tyler, I was like, you should come with us. He was like, I can't. And I was like, all right, it's fine.
There's nothing worse than when you know a friend only through someone else
Yeah.
and they're not there.
Yeah.
Because then you're just like, oh,
yeah.
Tyler's cool, right?
But it was a
you
lovely
don't think
time.
Tyler did?
I had such a good time, and now I have a new friend.
She's the best.
Taking risks, taking chances.
What's her name? Where does she live?
Aunt Kathy.
Aunt Kathy.
She wants to meet you. She's a big fan of Barbara.
She wants to be on the show.
Who's this person? Does she work here?
She can take my spot.
Well, we all
She's
know
a,
this is
she's
your
a
last
friend of the
one.
families.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, caller. I don't think we got a name from him.
I don't think we did.
But again, like, no one is faulting you for not having the self-confidence. It's a hard fucking thing in college and at that age.
I also think one of the most freeing things about becoming an adult is realizing that no one has it together.
Yeah.
And you're never going to really reach a point where you're like, oh, okay, I'm 30 years old. You might feel a little bit more confident in yourself. You might feel, you might feel better about yourself, but you're never going to like have it truly together. And I think once I really realized that, and I'm still trying to like put that in my brain, you just feel so much better because you alleviate the pressure from yourself. Like you're putting on yourself because you're like,
Nobody knows
fine.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's extremely comforting.
yeah,
Especially not us.
yeah, oh,
So if
fuck
you
no.
take
No idea.
any comfort in things, know that we have no
We
idea
don't have
I
our
have
shit
no
together.
idea.
at all.
Right.
It might seem like we do, or you might think that we do, but we definitely
I
It
got
don't.
probably doesn't even seem like I do. I don't.
I got out of bed at 9:15 this morning. I was very apathetic and didn't feel like getting up, but I pushed myself to do it.
What time did you get out of bed?
Today,
Yeah.
a little earlier, because I had to go to the dentist at 10 o'clock. And I was wearing this shirt at the dentist when an old
you
lady
go.
hygienist was
Yep.
working on my teeth. And I was sitting like this because I didn't want her to read it because I felt very guilty.
There you go.
But usually,
she
yeah, like 9:30.
Yeah. Sometimes you get up and you're ready to go for the day. I set my alarm for 7:30, didn't get out of bed until 9:15 this morning because I just didn't feel like
Who
doing
gives a
it.
shit? You're here.
And I'm here. I showed up.
Just show up. Just show up.
Yep. And keep going. Take care of yourself. All right, we love you. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
We got,
What a
we're
deep
doing.
and lovely episode.
Oh, I also want to mention we're going to be doing a box of issues question in the post show, which if you're watching this on Monday as a first member, the post show goes up the same day. So
You
you'll be
believe
able
it?
to just head right over there and continue watching more Always Open. So sign up for a first membership if you haven't already, and come back next week for another episode of Always Open. Cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers.